Hello, I'm Lemmy from lotr and welcome to the channel. I want to say thank you to Raptastic Paints. You're amazing. Thank you for the inspiration for the thumbnail and the title of the last video. It's better than anything I could have made. So yeah, really thank you for that. I wanted to start that video, this video off like this and thank him before trying to say that I'm gonna improve my most popular video. For some reason, my most popular video is painting an uruk-hai warrior. Even though I tend to like dwarves more, I am really into dwarves, but okay, I still have my second white hand army series I'm trying to do, and this will be part of it. So the second white hand video series has been dormant for a little while since I'm not able to find the models that I want in the army, and at this point it's mostly just ballista or multiple ballistas that I want to add to the army. The army is already pretty big because in one of the last videos of the second white hand army I told you about 40 uruk-hai warriors and a berserker and lords that I bought for like pretty much nothing. It was a very good deal if you ask me, and ever since I've been debating on what to do with the warriors. I wanted to convert them, wanted to do something special, to not have a copy-paste uruk-hai army, and it's pretty easy to have a copy-paste uruk-hai army because there are only 10 different models instead of the standard 12. So instead of doing the conversions, which I didn't find inspiration for except for one specific uruk-hai, one of the books I have, but I don't fucking know how they even did it. I cannot wrap my head around. So instead of doing a conversion, I decided to go for a completely different paint scheme. I'm not really fond of how they look on the web shop from, well, Warhammer now. So I decided to take inspiration from it though and try to make it better, and I think I've done that in my opinion. At least it looks cleaner. It's still surprisingly quick to paint, but it takes more drying time, and you're gonna see in the painting section of this video how I did it specifically. But so instead of converting, I decided to just not convert and do the easy route and paint them a little different. And I also want to tell you about some projects that are coming in the mail hopefully soon, even though I ordered them over 2 weeks ago and I still haven't heard about them being sent or anything like that. So yeah, Games Workshop, please send them quickly. One of those things is, for example, the Vault Warden teams, Doom Warriors and more dwarves. Yeah, because Doom is a more fleshed out faction compared to Erebor and Iron Hills. Hint hint. And also one of the things that I ordered that is coming is gonna be for my Moria army. And I don't like painting Moria goblins, so I have sold a lot of them actually. But the ones I have left are the max amount of Moria goblins I want in a singular army, and it's still like 30-40 Moria goblins I still have. So I want my Moria army to be really monster focused. Cave draves and dragons and cave trolls, and yeah, I want it to be big fuck off models, but like 5 of them or something like that. And last thing I want to share is, if you want to have a painting guide on how to paint Rohan houses, the walls that come in a kit, maybe you can see them behind me, they're still there. If you want a painting guide on that, let me know. I have painted a house already, one of the walls, in a way that's really simple and easy, and it still looks good. So yeah, let me know if you want that. And now I have rambled way too long already, so let's go to the desk to see me paint up some uruk-hai warriors. Hello and welcome back to the desk. As you can see, I primed the uruk-hai warrior I'm gonna paint for this video in Chaos Black. To start off the mini, I start with warplock bronze. I decided I wanted to have a dark metal color as a base color, in order to have a little bit of metallic sheen underneath what I'm gonna do next. And what I'm gonna do next is take black templar and use it over warplock bronze. So the armor will be black, but with a light metallic undertone of warplock bronze. And it doesn't really show up very well in the video, I noticed, but it does show up in some pictures, and in real life you can see the difference it makes with the undertone of warplock bronze. Because black templar of course is a little bit see-through, and if you don't apply a big blob of it and just use it as a regular paint, maybe a little bit thicker, maybe use a little bit of a thicker layer, then you shoot a normal paint, and yeah, it comes out looking great, I think. But of course we need to highlight every single edge on this model. And I'm not gonna do edge highlighting, I have 40 minutes to paint, so fuck that. I'm gonna use leadbelcher to give the armor a nice dry brush. So yeah, now the armor is done, I apply dryad bark on the gloves and the socks he has. And I go for a darker painting scheme than my other uruk-hai video here, because the other uruk-hais look more like the CGI uruk-hai in the two towers. While this uruk-hai, I'm trying to paint it as one of the, well, actual actors in an uruk-hai suit. And if you notice in the movie, they look very black and very dark colors. So I used dried bark for that specific reason. For his skin tone, I can't forget doombull brown. It's my go-to skin color for uruk-hai, and especially in large batches. You can go with a dark blue or something for some of them if you want to break them up. Make sure there is more different looking uruk-hai in your army, but yeah, I ain't got time for that. I'm getting tired of painting uruk-hai, okay? I almost painted 40 and I'm doing batches of 10 at a time, and after a while it gets a little bit repetitive. That's the one downside with painting an uruk-hai army. Gonna paint a lot of the same. I'm gonna use black templar once again, just for the hair, because it has a silver highlight now. We don't want that. Maybe you do, but I just use a thicker coat of black templar just to make sure the silver doesn't really shine through, and if it does, it isn't that bad. If people are looking at the hair of your uruk-hai, you've done something wrong, let's face it, because if that's the most interesting part, you should keep in mind faces and bases make the model. And finally I use eshin grey as the last color that I'm actually gonna use, the last normal paint. And I use this for every belt and strap of leather across his legs to hold his armor in place. Just use eshin grey for that. Once again, a darker paint really ties it all together. And I really wish I didn't use mournfang brown, it's just too light. Even when we start using agrax earthshade to shade paint, it still comes out a little too light for my liking. Maybe you like it. If I were to do this all over again, I would use something darker. Maybe something darker, I don't know what. Maybe even eshin grey as well, makes it a little bit easier to paint. Once the agrax earthshade is done, this model is done as well. I could go in with a bony color to paint his teeth, but because these are second-hand models, they were already painted. And I don't have paint remover, and I'm not gonna buy some because it's money that I would not be spending on models, and I really want to have more models. So yeah, if you want, you can paint the teeth as well. With some of them I did. This one particularly I didn't, because here I was realizing as well that I have a whole lot more to paint, and yeah, that's the whole reason. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching this around the time it comes out, Happy New Year as well. This is the first video of 2024. It's hopefully gonna be a year full of dwarves and the uruk-hai. Once I find some ballistas on the second-hand market for a reasonable price, let's put it like that. So here you can see the army itself, or the part of the army that I painted in this color instead of the standard colors that I tend to use for my uruk-hai. It was fun to actually try something different and try to improve on what the images show on the site from Games Workshop themselves. I never really liked how they looked on the site, and I think I actually improved it this time. You can prove me wrong in the comments. Speaking of comments, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you really enjoyed this video. If you didn't, that's fine. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. It's gonna be a nightmare to edit all of this. Great, 10 minutes.